California's independence, the movement that could reshape the U.S. economy. The political landscape of the United States is shifting as California moves closer to a historic decision that could change the course of its future. A controversial signature collection process has been approved, paving the way for a referendum that may lead to California's independence. With an economy larger than that of the United Kingdom and India, the Golden State has the financial and industrial capacity to operate as a sovereign nation. But what does this mean for the U.S. and the global economy? Stay with us until the end as we break down the key events shaping this movement. California is making headlines with a growing independence movement that could alter the nation's economic and political fabric. Dissatisfaction with federal policies, environmental concerns, and economic factors are fueling the push for sovereignty. Advocates argue that California's GDP, surpassing $3.9 trillion, positions it as a potential global powerhouse. Meanwhile, skeptics warn of economic instability and legal barriers that could complicate the path to independence. Could this be the beginning of a new era for California? Let's dive into the details. The devastating fires that swept through California have reignited long-standing frustrations, prompting discussions about the state's future within the United States. Political tensions are rising, with comparisons drawn to international independence movements such as Taiwan's struggle for recognition. Democratic Secretary of State Shirley Weber has officially sanctioned the signature collection process for a referendum that could make California a sovereign entity. For this measure to appear on the 2028 ballot, organizers must gather over 500,000 signatures by mid-year. While this may seem like an ambitious goal, proponents remain optimistic about their ability to rally support. If the referendum secures at least 55% of the vote with a turnout of 50% or more, it will be seen as a clear declaration of the state's desire to separate from the U.S. Supporters of California's independence argue that its economic strength is sufficient to sustain a separate nation. If it were a country, California would rank as the fifth largest economy in the world, outpacing economic powerhouses like the United Kingdom and India. This financial advantage makes secession an attractive prospect for many residents who believe in self-governance and more localized control over resources. Home to nearly 40 million people, California is the wealthiest state in the U.S. Its departure would send shockwaves through the national economy, disrupting industries and supply chains. The state's economic dominance was evident even in 2000 when it surpassed France in GDP, solidifying its position as a global financial leader. Recent reports from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis indicate that California's economy grew by 6.1% in 2023, reaching a record $3.9 trillion. The renewable energy sector has been particularly robust, with local companies expanding at a rate 1.74 times faster than their European counterparts. This rapid growth highlights California's potential as a leader in sustainable energy, further strengthening its case for independence. California's economy is not solely dependent on technology and entertainment. It also plays a crucial role in the oil industry. The state hosts the nation's largest urban oil field, with nearly 3,000 active wells. The oil boom began in 1892, when Edward L. Doheny made significant discoveries in Los Angeles. By the 1920s, drilling operations flourished, turning the region into an energy hub. As Los Angeles expanded, concerns over the environmental and health impacts of oil drilling led to stricter regulations. However, production continues today in select areas, sometimes just steps away from homes, shopping centers, and even golf courses. This ongoing activity raises important questions about how an independent California would manage its energy resources and balance economic growth with environmental sustainability. While California is known for its progressive stance on renewable energy, oil remains a key part of its economy. The Los Angeles Basin and Central Valley hold some of the nation's largest reserves, making them valuable assets. If California were to secede, the U.S. would lose a major contributor to its energy sector at a time when global energy competition is intensifying. Beyond economics, California's strategic location makes it a vital player in global trade. Positioned on the Pacific coast, the state serves as a gateway for commerce between the U.S. and major economies such as China, Japan, and Mexico. If California were independent, it could negotiate trade agreements directly, potentially increasing its influence in international markets. However, despite its economic and geopolitical advantages, legal experts caution that the U.S. Constitution does not provide a clear legal pathway for state secession. Even if Californians vote in favor of independence, the federal government is not obligated to recognize the results. This legal ambiguity adds another layer of complexity to an already contentious issue. The Calexit movement has gained traction in recent years, particularly among those dissatisfied with federal leadership. Concerns over environmental policies, social justice, and immigration laws have fueled support for secession. Many Californians believe their values differ significantly from those of the broader U.S., making independence an appealing prospect. While an official separation remains uncertain, the momentum behind California's independence movement is growing. If the federal government continues to dismiss the state's concerns, the possibility of an independent California may no longer be just a distant idea. California's push for independence is no longer a fringe idea, but a serious political movement with profound implications. Its economic strength, global influence, and strategic resources make it uniquely positioned to operate as a sovereign nation. However, the road to secession is filled with challenges, from legal barriers to economic uncertainties. The upcoming referendum could mark a turning point in U.S. history, signaling a shift in how states perceive their relationship with the federal government. As discussions continue, the world watches closely. Will California take the bold step toward independence, or will federal negotiations lead to a renewed partnership? Either way, the outcome of this movement will shape the future of the United States and the global economy. What do you think? Could California successfully operate as an independent nation? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on global events. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update.